Hey K-popers, and welcome back to Hallyu, where it's time to recap an absurdly busy week in K-pop. And really quick, I just want to say thank you to all of you for getting Hallyu to 6,000 subscribers. Whether you're new here or been here since Deep Dive number 1, I really cherish your support, so thank you. Now this week more than made up for last week's slow news cycle and gave us a jam-packed list of comebacks including 4 debuts. Mamamoo In Leaves RBW but still stays with Mamamoo until 2023, DSP Media loses its lawsuit against Hyunju supporters and then files another one, Source Music has a messy week with G-Friend refunds, Kim Jong Un calls out K-pop as a cancer, and lots more news awaits. Before we get started, I want to quickly thank Hallyu's honorary producers. If you want to show off your bias group in every video, have your say in future content in the channel, and join the official Hallyu Discord server, come support Hallyu on Patreon and join our wonderful community. Alright, we've got a lot to get to, so let's jump right in. This is your K-pop news update for June 13th, 2021. First up, we have to of course talk about Mamamoo and specifically Wheein. It came out this week that Wheein, who is the last remaining Mamamoo member in contract negotiations, has not renewed her contract with Rainbow Bridge World. Now, I shared a lot of my initial thoughts in the breaking news video I released when that happened, and I still think this is a really unique situation and I'm very curious to see how it plays out. That's because though she didn't renew with RBW, Wheein did sign an extension that would allow her to be a part of Mamamoo until December 2023, or about 18 months from now. It's unclear at the moment where the line would be drawn in terms of Wheein's participation in promotional activities, but I assume Mamamoo will still release new music until 2023 as a full group. This does leave Mamamoo in a weird situation now though of knowing when the group is likely to disband, and it's gotta be a very strange feeling for fans who bias the group. As Moomoo's are well aware, Wheein is not a fan of the pressure and stress that comes with being an idol, and so there's also the possibility here that she'll focus more on solo activities. Wheein shared a letter on Instagram just yesterday to confirm her departure from the label. She also thanked her fans in that letter, saying, quote, "I'll work harder so that I can spend happier days with Moomoo and my members, and I'll also participate in many activities and repay you with good music." Now, we've had several more developments in the bullying scandal surrounding former April member Hyunju. As a quick refresher, several people close to Hyunju made allegations at the start of the year that April had bullied her while she was in the group. So DSP Media had filed a lawsuit for defamation and slander against those who supported Hyunju's case online, and this week they lost that lawsuit. On June 8th, Hyunju's lawyers revealed the case had been thrown out, which prompted this statement from DSP Media the same day. They said, "The case was dismissed because according to the accused, they had gotten the information from Lee Hyunju and other articles published around the same time about the case, so it could not be proved that the accused had written the post with an awareness that it was false. Nothing in the police's decision proves that what the accused had written was true." DSP also shared that they've since filed another lawsuit against the person who provided the defendants in the first case with that wrong information, so this is far from over. Current April members Naeun and Jinsol have also since come out with their own personal statements, with Jinsol saying, "During the time that we lived together and up to this present moment, I have never harbored malicious thoughts or feelings toward her or acted maliciously toward her in any way." So unfortunately for me and all the other fine apples out there, it seems that with all these developments, both sides are still as adamant as ever that their version is the correct one, and we'll have to just keep waiting to see where further litigation takes us. Now let's switch gears and talk about Source Music for a second, because they had to issue a public apology on June 11th after some brutal mishandling of the wind down from G-Friend's disbandment. As I mentioned a couple of weeks back, Source offered refunds on G-Friend's fan club membership as a result of the disbanding, which in theory is a really nice move from the label. The only problem is that they decided to only offer refunds as Weaver's cash, which if you only buy as G-Friend, that currency is completely useless to you. After a lot of pushback from fans and the involvement of lawyers, they caved and allowed cash-to-cash and card-to-card refunds, but this brought about another blunder. The refunds were being processed via a Google form, and that Google form was not configured properly, as in it was publicly accessible. This meant that at least 22 different fans had their information stolen, forcing Source to reach out to them and offer them even more compensation beyond the original refund. As I said earlier, Source issued a statement that was just filled with apologies, saying in part, "The service representatives failed to treat the fan club members with respect, and the agency displayed poor quality of service in many aspects. We bow our heads in apology." According to Naver, Source revealed that Big Hit Entertainment had been responsible for the Google form and have since said that they're going to rebrand and change their name. This whole situation has really snowballed out of control, and I feel really bad for buddies who had to go through that after dealing with G-Friend's sudden disbanding. In our final big news story this week, Kim Jong Un has seemingly out of nowhere called out K-pop as a quote, "vicious cancer" affecting North Korea's youth. With K-pop's rapid global expansion and more concentrated efforts to get Korean media into North Korea via weather balloons and other means, it seems North Korea's youth are starting to really yearn for South Korean culture. North Korean state media went on to say, quote, K-pop is corrupting and tainting young North Koreans' attire, hairstyles, speeches, and behavior. If left unchecked, it would make North Korea crumble like a damp wall. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point of soft power. It's the same reason South Korea blasted Girls' Generation's Genie on loudspeakers over the border non-stop 24/7. You tend to get more defectors when Taeyeon is singing and telling you she wants to make all your dreams come true all day long. And by the way, Kim Jong Un, can I just say, I see through your empty words. We all know you loved Red Velvet's 2018 performance in Pyongyang, and we all know you bias Irene hard. I personally wouldn't be too surprised if confiscated K-pop is brought to his office to build his collection. And with that, let's jump into all the new releases for the week. Brace yourselves because wow was this week's lineup big, star-studded, and filled with debuts. We'll start with the superstar girl group Twice, who are bringing us the summer fun in their new song, Alcohol Free. And it wasn't just Twice bringing the summer fun, We are back with Bye Bye Bye, a song set in a tropical destination.
Oh, bye bye bye.
Our first debut of the week comes from C9 Entertainment's brand new boy group Epex. Here's their debut, Lockdown.
Party on lockdown. 모두가 pay, only for fame.
Yugyeom is back with his first solo track since leaving JYP in the form of a dark and mysterious song called I Want You Around.
I want you around. Baby, 네가 내게 남길 원해 영원히. I want you around.
Ailey dropped Starting Now, a delightful song in partnership with Disney Korea. Cards BM also made his solo debut this week. Here's his new track, Broken Me.
So I hate to admit it, I got a baby, I've been.
Infinite's Hoya gave us Stay With Me this week, a beautiful song in which he shows off his vocals and his piano talents.
Stay with me, I cannot let you go. 날 두고.
Cube's new girl group Lightsum made a splash this week too with their debut track, Vanilla. The former 101 member Ha Sung-woon released Sneakers, a bright and cheery pop song. N-Flying's patented rock sound shines through in their latest comeback. Here is Moonshot. For our fourth and final debut of the week, we've got Woo Jin-young of The Once, who dropped this self-indulgent track called Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday to me.
Sori and Gary Boy teamed up on the song The Long Night, a low-key, easy listening track. And last but certainly not least, we've got the Legends EXO with a high-energy bop called Don't Fight the Feeling.
Don't fight the feeling.
As always, I want to know what songs from the past week caught your eye down in the comments. Though EXO was a very close runner-up, my pick for this week is Lightsum's debut. I love the song, I love the pastel colors in the MV, and I just love the image and vibe they give off here. I hope that they continue down that path in their future comebacks too. And now let's get back to some more news, because this week we've got the news we've been waiting for a while. Red Velvet are making a full group comeback in August. This will of course be the first full group comeback since Wendy's injury at the end of 2019. Mnet's upcoming girl group audition show Girls Planet 999 just got some big name mentors added. Girls' Generation's Tiffany and Sunmi will both be joining the show's roster as mentors. And speaking of that show, in case it wasn't already clear that CLC's days are unfortunately basically over at Cube, rumor has it that CLC's Yujin will be a participant. I hope for her sake she's able to find some success there and break out of that dungeon. Minzy of 2NE1 has revealed she's coming back with new music in July. It's going to be a single album, and according to her own label MZ Entertainment, she's promoting it actively. Despite some pretty big competition, BTS have maintained the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 chart for the second consecutive week with Butter. Congratulations once again to them and ARMY for making that incredible achievement happen once again. And while we're talking about BTS, they've also confirmed a new comeback is in the works. The boys will be back with another song on July 9th, so mark your calendars. Tomorrow by Together are getting some big exposure in India. The boys are gracing the cover of Rolling Stone India's June 2021 issue. A huge congratulations to ITZY because their album Guess Who has sold 330,070 copies thus far, crushing the 250,000 mark. ITZY have been making huge jumps in sales with every new album thus far, so maybe 500,000 copies isn't too far off for them. Lightsum's Chowon had an eye-opening interview this week about her time in Produce 48. As we all know, it's been legally established that Produce 48's final rankings were manipulated, and Chowon should have been 6th overall, making IZ*ONE, but was dropped to 13th by producers. Chowon said about the elimination, "If I said I didn't feel any sense of loss or dejection back then, I would be lying. In truth, I felt confused and wronged at the time." I know a lot of people are tired of hearing about the vote fixing scandals, but I think this is a really important perspective from someone who actually was victimized by it. And you can breathe easy knowing that these producers are actually being punished. It came out this week that the chief producer of Idol School, another show affected by Mnet's manipulation, received jail time for his actions. He'll be serving a 1-year prison sentence for his role in the manipulation of votes on that show. Kakao Entertainment has acquired Hi-Up Entertainment, the label behind girl group STAYC. I'm hoping Hi-Up is still mostly in charge of their own roster because STAYC have had a great start as a girl group so far. Ace revealed their next comeback at the end of last week, and they've been putting out some stunning teasers to build the hype since then. Their new music is due out on June 23rd. In some shocking and ridiculous news, BTOB's Ilhoon has been sentenced to 2 years in prison and fined 133 million Korean won for purchasing and using marijuana between July 2016 and January 2019. I'm not going to get political here, and I know this isn't just an issue in South Korea, but there have been far worse crimes committed by idols and Mnet producers that got less jail time. This is clearly excessive for smoking marijuana. In somewhat related news, YG Entertainment's founder Young Hyun-suk has been charged by Seoul police for attempting to cover up drug scandals surrounding his own YG artists. In one instance, Hyun-suk tried to get a whistleblower to change their sworn statement about BI's drug purchases in 2016 to the Anti-Corruption and Civil Rights Commission. Now let's end off the news segment with a fun story. This week, older fans of K-pop got an absolute treat as several incredible performances of legendary songs were shared to the MMTG YouTube channel. After School reunited to perform Diva and Bang, 2PM performed My House, 9 Muses performed Dolls, and Oh My Girl turned back the clock and gave us a heavenly performance of Closer. And with that, let's now talk about what happened on music shows. I've gotta say, I did not expect this week to be dominated by Tomorrow by Together, but it certainly was. The boy group took 4 straight wins to start the week, earning the trophy for I Know I Love You on the show, Show Champion, M Countdown, and Music Bank. And to round out this week's winners was their label mate BTS. They took 2 more wins for Butter on Show Music Core and Inkigayo, bringing their total for the song to 8 wins. Which big comeback that we got this week do you think will win on music shows? Let me know who you predicting the big winners will be down in the comments. Alright K-popers, you're now officially caught up on everything that's going on in the busy world of K-pop. Let me know how you feel about all the week's news and the new music we got down in the comments. As always, if you want to stay caught up with the K-pop world as it happens while having a ton of fun every single week, make sure you're subscribed right here to Hallyu.